Ladies and gentlemen, your favorite white colonizing, sweet Zionist colonist, white colonizing Zionizer, coming to you live from the United States of America. I'm Tall, the Traveling Clat. Keep in mind, we're doing a special news update right now about Gaza. We don't have a video to react to because some crazy shit is going off right now in Israel, in Gaza. Plans of the IDF to fully reoccupy Gaza are now being set in place. I warned about this for months. I warned Gazans about this for months. I warned Palestinians about this for months. And we kept getting terrorism. We kept getting support for Hamas. And now we are here. And here means there's a serious plan being drafted up by the IDF, by the Israeli War Cabinet, to fully reoccupy Gaza. Here's the blurb about it. We're going to get a little bit into reading the article. This is just something I was forwarded from people. Israel has devised a plan to fully reoccupy the Gaza Strip, with the military preparing for its execution. According to the Financial Times report citing Israeli officials, the plan reportedly involves deploying multiple IDF combat divisions to eliminate Hamas and regain full control of Gaza for the first time since the 2005 withdrawal. However, Israel's security cabinet has yet to approve it. The report claims that the IDF chief of staff Eyal Zamir formulated the plan with the far-right backing, and two officials suggested it was enabled by U.S. President Donald Trump's return to the White House. So we knew that these options would be on the table. We had warned. We warned there was an easy way out of this, which was just returning the hostages. Here is from the Financial Times. This is, I guess, a leaked plan document that's come out. What we're looking at here is the map of the Gaza Strip. You can see the plan on the table. According to the IDF plans, Gaza's population of over 2 million would be confined to the Al-Mawasi humanitarian area during the occupation. If you don't know where that is, that's this area in red. Oops, it disappeared. 1 second, let me drag that back up on the screen. So if you didn't notice where that was, it's this red area on screen, the Al-Mawasi humanitarian area in Dir al-Bala. It's closer to Khan Yunis, in between Rafah, Khan Yunis, that area. So we're looking at a very, very confined, small area that most of Gaza's 2 million population would have to be into. This is going to cause a lot of death, a lot of destruction. But again, we warned and we warned and we warned, and we asked the international community for help, and we asked America for help, and we asked everybody. We don't want to do this. We don't want to go back in. We don't want to reoccupy. Let's do the hostage deal. I mean, I was against the hostage deal in the beginning, like many Israelis. We were terrified. We were like, this is a terrible idea. This is going to risk all of our lives. This is a bad thing to do. But we opened the door to it, and it had good results. It seemed like it was the right move. We were down to keep it going. We wanted the release of more hostages, but they don't want to release the hostages. And you're just, at a certain point, you're left without many options. So we're sitting at this point right now where it looks like the IDF is going to fully reoccupy Gaza. And when that happens, I'm not sure the way out for Palestinians after, if I have to be honest with you. We're going to look at a little blurb here from this article. We're going to read a little bit more about it, and we're going to speculate. But it's important. Again, we don't have a video to react to. I just want to take a moment also to say here in the beginning of the video, I am in the United States of America right now on tour. I'm going to be speaking in San Francisco April 9th. I'm speaking in Dallas, Texas, back-to-back April 10th and 11th. I'll be in the South Florida area. We're looking at trying to bring up speaking gigs here as well. If you want me in New York, if you want me in San Francisco, if you want me in Los Angeles, if you want me in Miami and South Florida, I am here to speak and give a lot of insight about Israel. I just did a massive tour across the Caribbean, speaking to thousands of people. It was amazing. We made a lot of impact on the ground. So I highly recommend you consider bringing me to your community. You can message us at collab.travelingclat@gmail.com, collab.travelingclat@gmail.com. Message me some details if you want to bring me over to the community. Yes, we do charge a speaking fee, and you do have to cover my transportation and all that stuff to get me out there, but it's well worth it because we really have made a big impact. So I'd absolutely love the opportunity to come speak to your community where you are in the States. And again, if you're in South Florida trying to push this hard, I'm in the area with family, with friends. I'd love to maximize my time here and get the most done and the most impact done while I'm here. Anyways, let's read this blurb here from the Financial Times. Israel's military has drawn up plans to reconquer Gaza in a bid to finally defeat Hamas, paving the way for a long-running occupation of the besieged enclave. The proposal, yet to be approved by Israel's security cabinet, was formulated by the new Israeli Defense Forces chief of staff with an unofficial backing of far-right ministers who have long demanded drastically harsher tactics to fight the militant group, said several people briefed on the plans. Two officials said the plans were made possible by U.S. President Donald Trump's return to the White House, which freed up Israel from the Biden administration's incessant insistence that that it's not reoccupy Gaza or annex territory. The prior administration wanted us to end the war. Trump wants us to win the war. A third Israeli official said there is a supreme American interest in defeating Hamas as well. Let's break it down real quick, and also let's break down further what's going on. The PA, the Palestinian Authority, which controls the Palestinian population in the West Bank, and I say control loosely because they are kind of bound to the Israeli government and to Israel, and every Palestinian hates them. They don't believe in them as their government. They do believe in Hamas as their government. They do not believe even the ones in the West Bank. Yeah, all that bullshit propaganda you may have heard about. There's no Hamas in the West Bank. I've sat with Hamas in the West Bank. There is a lot of amount of Hamas in the West Bank. I would say a majority of the Palestinians in the West Bank openly and proudly support Hamas. Proudly support Hamas. You don't believe me? Go to my friend's YouTube channel, Saluki. He was just in the West Bank, randomly walking around. I don't remember which city he was in. I think it was in Bethlehem, which is a relaxed city. And they were selling a kafia there. And he goes into the shop and he goes, why is this kafia green? You know the Palestinian kafia that's black and white? That's not really a Palestinian kafia. It was actually stolen from Iraq. He goes, why is this one green? He says, this is for the support of Hamas. A Palestinian man in the Christian city of Bethlehem, or what was once a Christian city called Bethlehem. It is now no longer a Christian city. It is pretty much a majority Muslim. If you don't believe me, go to Saluki's channel. Go watch his recent video from Bethlehem. He's in that video, and he does that specific thing. So that's one thing. Palestinian Authority is now trying to push people or push Hamas to step down from leadership completely, to relinquish their power of leadership. They don't want to be associated with them because I'm thinking they're looking at the bid to basically take over leadership of Palestine. They want to get their support in Gaza, and they want to take over in Gaza. The reality is, okay, we're looking at a reality here where that cannot happen. The Palestinian Authority has been complicit, okay, absolutely complicit with terror attacks on Israeli civilians. It has been a part of a pay-for-slave program of Israelis. It has been a part of a pay-for-slave program of Israeli civilians, which is very, very, very dangerous. And in reality, the biggest issue with them is that they can't trust them. They have the same end goal, which is to take over Palestine or to take over Israel and turn it into Palestine. Now, last thing that's interesting that's happened today in the last 24 hours, from what we understood, the Trump administration, I don't know if it's coming from Trump directly or Steve Witkoff. I'm not sure who it's coming from. Okay, but it looks like what has happened. Trump has given an ultimatum to Egypt now. Take in 500,000 to 700,000 Palestinian refugees from Gaza, or lose all financial aid. Complete financial aid. We already knew that al-Sisi was kind of potentially interested in taking in 500,000. I mean, he felt like his hand was forced. Now it seems like there's an ultimatum on the table. Take in 500 to 700,000 Palestinians, or lose all aid. Egypt can't survive without that aid. People don't understand. I was just watching a video about this the other day, and it really reaffirmed to me. Egypt is a flailing country. Egypt may seem like this strong, all-powerful country in the Middle East. Population of 100 million, overwhelming majority living in very, very bad conditions. Very poor population. I've been on the streets of Cairo. Not a great place to be. Immense violence, immense racism, immense extremism. Parts of the Sinai fully taken over by ISIS. You still can't. When I was in Egypt, we literally couldn't drive on the northernmost road that takes you from Israel to Egypt to Cairo because it was overtaken by ISIS. So Egypt has some major, major issues. They want American support. They want to be friends with America, even though as much as they pretend like they're part of the Arab world, nobody even considers them real Arabs. Everybody in the Arab world, especially the real Arabs, makes fun of them for not being real Arabs. That's the reality of the situation that we're dealing with here, okay? And so Egypt is in a peculiar situation where they're not going to want to lose this aid, but if they do take in these 700,000 Palestinians, they've already kind of hated and shunned by the Arab world for a long time for making peace with Israel. They're kind of they're seen as the P word of the Arab world because they broke and made peace with Israel alongside Jordan. And the one thing I'll give to Jordan is like they kind of leaned into it instead of going away from it. Like I will say maybe not the population, because the Palestinian population obviously not, but I would say the Hashemites kind of leaned into the support of Israel a little bit. You saw them militarily supporting us this year. Egypt has like gone away, like as far away as you can go. Like they just made their population more anti-Semitic in the last 50 years we've had a peace deal. And so Egypt's in a really, really fucked place, I would say, right now. Not a good place for them to be, but ideally for us, that's great. I think the more Egypt has to deal with the consequences of their actions, like enabling October 7th, the better for everybody in this region. Egypt needs to deal with the consequences of what it's done. Egypt deserves a slap in the face and a slap on the wrist and say, no more, Habibi. You can't do this anymore. You cannot fund and help fund Gazans to come slaughter Israelis, including Arabs and Muslim Palestinians that you so love. You can't fund them and can help them do that a la October 7th. And then especially when they're getting attacked, okay, when there's a serious need to house them as refugees, you bribe them $10,000 a pop at the border and keep pretending like you don't want them to leave their land, yet you won't take any of them in. You won't take any Palestinians in unless they pay you $10,000 at the border. What the fuck, Egypt? What the fuck? Egypt needs to learn its lesson today. I am strongly in support of Egypt having to take in as many Gazans as will hurt its country, because Egypt needs to learn a lesson. That's a reality. Egypt is the main instigator behind a lot of this. And you know what? As somebody who has been on the streets of Egypt, I am no fan of the Egyptian people. They have done no favors. That country is just in a mess, let me tell you. In a fucking mess. And I know I have Egyptian fans on this channel. There's Egyptians who watch here. Obviously, I'm not talking about you guys, you know that. I'm talking about the vast majority of the Egyptian population, which unfortunately has fallen into this trap of anti-Semitism. Don't forget that at one point in time, I think it was about 150,000 Jews lived in Egypt. They're all gone now. You have to wonder why. Ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of our news update with a little bit of propaganda from Tal. Trying to brainwash you into understanding the nuances of Arab society, and I hope you're learning something, and I appreciate it. Again, if you appreciate me and you love these updates from me, highly, highly recommend bring me to talk at your local school, synagogue, church, whatever it be across the United States of America. Email me at collab.travelingclat@gmail.com. Please do send me an email. I'd be super, super down to come and speak at your community, speak at your synagogue, church. I would love to keep bringing these messages to the people while I'm here in the United States of America. And I will see you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Please do support the channel. Goodbye, class. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.